Hey Cowboys Nation, let's go for another round of news from America's team. Watch until the end so you don't miss any news and sign up to stay tuned for everything that comes out about the Cowboys.
Cowboys Dak Prescott hilariously backs off from gambling man contract stance. Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott had uncertainty surrounding his long-term future with the team as his contract is set to expire this offseason, and he had a hilarious explanation of his approach to the situation and the pressure he feels when speaking with the media. "It's just the urgency you should always have to be honest," Dak Prescott said, via Ari Miriv of the 33rd team. "So maybe guys who normally wouldn't feel it. So I don't mind it, been in this position before. I'm a gambling man, will gamble on myself and my guys, so, not actually guys. I understand there's been a lot of S*** with that, so, not that way." It was a clearly unintentionally funny comment from Prescott, who made it clear that he is not actually placing bets on himself, as that would get him suspended for betting on the NFL. Still, his statements make it clear that he is confident in his ability to play up to a certain standard and earn a long-term extension with the Cowboys past this season. Prescott did say that he has been in this situation before, and it is similar to when he played on the franchise tag with the Cowboys before signing his current deal with the team. Still, the current contract status leaves many question whether or not this is the last year for Prescott under center in Dallas. This is not the only big decision that the Cowboys have looming in the near future. Cowboys have big decisions approaching with Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons. Not only do the Cowboys have a big decision looming with Prescott either this summer or next offseason, they have to figure out the contract extensions for CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons. Both of those players seem like no-brainers when it comes to extending them, while Prescott's future is a bit more murky. The Cowboys drafted Lamb in 2020, and he has become one of the best receivers in the NFL. With Justin Jefferson extending with the Minnesota Vikings, Lamb's price likely is more firm. However, the Cowboys have gotten criticized for not extending their young, great players as soon as possible, causing them to pay more later on. That might be the base here. That also might be the case with Parsons as well. He was drafted the next year in 2021. Both Lamb and Parsons have been home run draft picks and seemingly no-brainer decisions to extend, especially a premium pass rusher in Parsons. But the Cowboys have not extended either of them yet. It will be a fascinating summer to see if any of these three receive contract extensions, and a fascinating season to see what changes could be coming to the Cowboys after the 2024 NFL season. Bill Belichick dice a amigo, hot seat watch do Dallas Cowboys se torna oficial da NFL. The Bill Belichick watch, in a sense, just went official. Earlier this spring, after the Dallas Cowboys chose to retain head coach Mike McCarthy for the final year of his contract, a bombshell report by ESPN revealed that former New England Patriots head coach Bill Belichick is already zeroing in on his next job. That would be McCarthy's job. As ESPN wrote it, Belichick told a friend that he liked the idea of sticking it to the Kraft's Patriots ownership by working for Jones. Could the all-powerful Belichick really work for the all-powerful Jones? If it's true that Belichick is eyeing a 2025 move to the Star, he's already answered that question for a doubting public. From our perspective, we covered the Cowboys when Jimmy Johnson worked here, and we covered the Cowboys when Bill Parcells worked here. So the idea that Jerry must be a puppeteer of a weak coach is historically proven to be untrue. How much traction is this idea gaining? Enough that NFL.com is writing about it as if it's going to happen. From Judy Batista, this doesn't even really seem like that bold a prediction. With another early playoff exit in the offing, Jerry Jones does what many expected him to do this offseason: let Mike McCarthy go. McCarthy is coaching in the final year of his contract, so that won't even be a surprise. Neither will Jones hiring Bill Belichick. ... Single quote, that's the official website of the NFL, etching this non-surprise move in pencil. Batista also writes, "It's still bizarre that Belichick doesn't have an NFL job. If you have a talented roster and need someone to address details and mindset, Belichick is your guy. He won't coach for long, maybe a few years, but Jones can figure out a succession plan after he finally hoists another Lombardi trophy. We don't find it bizarre at all that Belichick's style might grate on his interviewer, or that some teams might wonder if at 72 and without any real success in the last half-decade Belichick might have lost his fastball. But we will concede that McCarthy's status as a lame duck coach who might need to win a Super Bowl to retain his job creates a situation in which the ghost of Belichick will be haunting the halls here inside the Star every time the 2024 lose a game. Or hell, maybe every time they lose a fumble. Can't you hear the national moaning already? Dak Prescott threw an interception. That would have never happened if Belichick was here. Belichick, ESPN wrote in its piece, believes he'll get at least one interview next year. And you don't have to be an investigative reporter to figure out which interview he's dreaming about. It's pretty much as official as it is unfair. Mike McCarthy is at the Star, renting Bill Belichick's office. NFL Insider gives Cowboys Micah Parsons important contract advice. Since being picked 12th overall by the Dallas Cowboys in the 2021 NFL Draft, Micah Parsons has set the league on fire, notching 40.5 sacks, the fifth most in NFL history among players in their first 3 NFL seasons, and finishing in the top 3 in Defensive Player of the Year voting 3 years in a row. It's not at all an exaggeration to say that Parsons may be the best and most valuable non-quarterback in the league. Yet for the time being, he's not being paid as such. For the 2024 season, Micah Parsons will be making just a sliver under $3 million. Because Dallas picked up his 5th-year option, he'll be paid $21.3 million during the 2025 season, which is a step in the right direction, but still far less than a player of Parsons' caliber deserves to be making. For that reason, NFL insider Mike Florio has offered Parsons some advice so that sooner rather than later he can be properly compensated as one of the NFL's most impactful players. Cowboys defensive jack-of-all-trades Micah Parsons is willing to wait for his next contract. It's not a bad strategy. With one big caveat, Florio writes for Pro Football Talk, "This isn't about waiting your turn. This is about getting what's yours." Parsons deserves the generational payday his talents and accomplishments have earned. From here, Mike Florio suggests that Micah Parsons pull an Ezekiel Elliott and not show up for training camp until he gets what he deserves. And what Parsons deserves is a contract in line with what Justin Jefferson will be paid on his contract extension with the Minnesota Vikings. This isn't an out-of-the-box suggestion for Florio to make. If Micah Parsons were to hold out from training camp, he'd be just one of a handful of marquee players who do so this offseason in hopes of signing a lucrative long-term extension before the season is underway. Not every one of those players will command a contract the size of Parsons' eventual deal, but along the way, someone will, and that could be why Parsons is willing to wait his turn. Micah Parsons' mindset on upcoming Cowboys payday. Micah Parsons is keenly aware of the Dallas Cowboys cap situation and of his own earning potential, and for that reason, he's comfortable remaining patient as he waits for his first big NFL payday. "It's not like I see the Cowboys with $90 million in cap space," Parsons said early last week. According to Clarence Hill of the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, H.T. Cherian-Williams of Pro Football Talk, "This market is going to just jump up, and the cap goes up again next year. They're talking about these contracts might for a high-caliber player might be up to $40 million by then." Micah Parsons is one of those high-caliber players who may soon be getting a deal worth $40 million annually, but the Cowboys aren't in the position to do that just yet. But once the cap goes up and Dallas is potentially in a better financial position, it could be their star edge rusher who resets the NFL's market for non-quarterbacks.